The easiest way to waste your time and money is to try to market a product or service that isn't yet great. Not only will you waste your time, but you might also get a lot of potential customers who only spread the word that your product or service is not yet that good. So in this module, we're going to look at two methods that you can use to determine whether people consider your product or service something that they must have. The first method is called the 40% method. The basic test is this. Would more than 40% of the people who have used your product or service be very disappointed if it went away? If more than 40% of the users say yes, then you have a must-have product or service and it's ready to be growth hacked. If you have more than 1,000 users already, then you can find this out by surveying them. And if you have less than 1,000 users, then you might find this information out by interviewing a handful of your users to find this 40% positive or negative to determine whether or not your product or service can be growth hacked. Now, the second method is to use your retention rate. Your retention rate is the percentage of users who continue to use your product or service for an extended period of time. You'll know you have a must-have product or service if you see that a large percentage of your customers keep coming back. Let's do some benchmarking. For apps, something like a 10% retention rate is common. For service businesses, something like a 60% retention rate is common. And for something like a brick and mortar store, something like a 90% retention rate is common. If your product or service is not yet a must-have, you should work on the product or service before you work on growth hacking. So in summary, the practice of growth hacking assumes that you're marketing a must-have product or service. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. If 40+% of the people who use your product or service would be disappointed if it went away, then you probably have a must-have product. Alternatively, if you're retaining customers at a high rate for your industry, then that's another good way to understand that you have a must-have product or service. Now, if your offering needs to be improved, start by interviewing members of your target market to get some ideas on ways that you could make it better so that you can get it ready for growth hacking.